Welcome to Honeybee Yoga Studio, where we share yoga classes aimed at yogis of all levels. We release new videos every week, so if that sounds like your thing, please consider subscribing by hitting that red button below. And hi yogis, thanks so much for joining me for a stretch and restore. It's going to be a gentle stretch from head to toe. We're going to go really slow and help unwind after maybe a busy day or getting ready for bed. As always, I recommend grabbing some pillows, cushions, blankets, or towels, and we will be going into a legs up the wall posture, so we'll make sure we're nice and close to a wall. To get started, let's come into a gentle seated position, whatever feels good for you. We'll feel those sit bones get heavy in the earth. Let's take an inhale, reach those shoulders up towards our ears. And then as we exhale, let those shoulders melt away. Our hands maybe come to our knees or our thighs. And for a moment, let's let those eyelids get heavy. Taking a couple moments to set the intention of our practice. Giving ourselves permission to shut out the outside world and just allow all of our awareness to focus on our breath, our body, and our practice. Without making any changes to our breath, let's follow the inhale and exhale. Feeling our spine lengthen, the crown of our head reach up towards the sky as we inhale. And then as we exhale, allow a little bit of your weight to release into the support of the earth beneath you. On one of our next inhales, we'll gently begin to open our eyelids. And when we're ready, we'll slowly sweep those fingertips up towards the sky. We'll bring our gaze as well as our belly button and our shoulders to be looking towards that right knee. And as we exhale, let's bring that left hand to the outside of our right knee. Right hand comes somewhere behind that right hip. Let's lengthen that right arm long, lengthening our spine in the process. And as we exhale, our gaze will come out that right shoulder as we soften into a gentle spinal twist. Keeping our breath long. Slow and controlled. On our next inhale, we'll slowly come back through neutral, sweep those hands tall, and we'll move to the opposite side. First bringing our gaze and our belly button towards that left knee, and then exhaling to release our left hand somewhere behind that left hip, right hand to the outside of our left knee. Our inhale lengthens that left arm long, pressing into the ground to support a long spine. And then our exhale allows us to soften that gaze on our left shoulder and feel our spine rotate to the opposite side. Again, keeping slow, controlled breaths and keeping our awareness on that breath as it travels through our body. Our next inhale, once again, brings us through center. You can reach those fingertips up to the sky one last time before we exhale our hands, both of our hands, to come behind our hips. Let's bring the soles of our feet into the floor, knees bend up towards the ceiling. And let's gently windshield wiper our knees from side to side. Keeping those arms long, our chest and our heart lifted. Then we'll let our legs come to stillness. We'll cross our legs and come back to seated. Let's reach both of our hands forward. And let's reach opposite hands towards opposite shoulders. Kind of like we're giving ourselves a big hug. Let's start to inchworm those fingertips to come closer to our spine. That hug gets even tighter, and we'll start to feel a little bit of a release through our back body. Those shoulder blades melting away from our spine. Let's take a big inhale, feel that long spine. And then if it's for us, we'll slowly tip forward. Just coming into a gentle forward fold. It might intensify that back opening stretch. Let's take one more big breath. And then lift. Release those arms. Give them a little wiggle. We're going to do that again, but with the opposite configuration. So I had my right hand reaching on top. This time I'm going to reach with my left hand on top. Again, bringing opposite hands to opposite shoulders. And start to inchworm those fingertips all the way back to our spine. Another big inhale, lifting the crown of our head, lifting our chin. And then exhaling, maybe choosing to invite a gentle or generous back bend. Feeling that back bending behind you, opening. Let's take one last big inhale, feel that rib cage expand. And we'll exhale, let those fingertips come back to the earth. From here, let's roll over our knees. We'll feel our hands come into the earth, our knees under our hips. Let's let those knees go as wide as our mat, if we're using a mat, or just a little bit wider than our hips. Let our tailbone sink towards our heels. Walk our hands in front, and we'll allow our chin or our forehead to come to rest in our version of child's posture. This is a fantastic shoulder opener. That upper spine might be feeling a little bit of love. As you inhale, feel that length of your spine. And as you exhale, maybe you can imagine your tailbone sinking deeper to those heels of your feet. As your fingertips stretch forward, feel all that length come through your spine. Two more breaths here. As you inhale, your chest expands, your belly expands. Maybe you feel your chest pressing into the earth, your belly expanding between your thighs. And then again, exhaling heavy. We'll eventually bring our gaze up towards our hands. And almost like our hands are glued to the ground, we're going to slowly pull our chest forward, lengthening our legs behind us, bringing our belly, our chest, our hips all the way into the earth. We'll inchworm our fingertips forward until our elbows come underneath our shoulders. Take a big inhale, press through your forearms. Your chest lifts, your heart pulls forward, maybe your chin and your gaze lift. Check in with that low spine. If we're holding any tension, see if we can release it with an exhale. If there's any tightening or pinching, we'll slowly come a little bit closer to the earth. Alternatively, if you're looking for a deeper opening, we can start to slide our hands underneath our shoulders and start to lengthen through our arms. Maybe lifting our belly button all the way off of the earth in our version of Cobra. Whether we're in Cobra or a low Sphinx, let's take a peek over that left shoulder towards our left heel. And then we'll take a peek over that right shoulder towards our right heel. We'll slowly lower our belly, chest, chin back to the earth. Let's tuck those toes, bend at our knees, and we'll peel ourselves up into tabletop. So we have those hands under our shoulders, knees under our hips. Let's take a few hip circles here by moving our hips in one direction and then slowly moving those hips in the opposite direction. As you come forward, if it feels good to sink back into your Cobra or your Sphinx, let's take that movement and just let our body be our guides for what feels good. Maybe we spend a lot of time sitting behind a desk, and opening through our hip flexors is just what our body's asking for today. We'll feel ourselves coming to stillness, those hands pressing into the earth. Let's lengthen our right leg behind us, toes in the earth, and let's press that heel away. As our heel presses away, we feel the back of our right leg, hopefully feeling a generous stretch. Keeping that right hand in the earth, let's lift our left hand and enjoy a gentle twist through our spine. Big inhale as your heart opens to the left side. As we exhale, we'll bring that left hand back to the earth. And let's take those right toes and slowly shimmy them all the way up to the front of our mat till that right foot comes to the outside of that right hand. Let's take both of our hands to the top of our right thigh. Feeling strong and stable through that left knee, our right heel. We'll allow our hands to come to clasp at our low spine, clasping those fingertips together. And we're going to hang out here for a few breaths. So we can let our hips kind of sway and sink like a hammock. If our knees were the trees and our hips were the hammock, we'll let those sink forward. And then if it's for us, we'll start to pull those hands towards the earth, peeling our shoulders away from our ears. Our heart and our chest opens as our gaze comes to the sky. Let's take one more breath here. Exhale, sinking forward. Let's release those hands. Bring both hands to the inside of our right foot and step that right knee back. Let's take any shimmies and shakes, any wiggles and wobbles. And when we're ready, we'll lengthen our left leg long behind us, toes in the earth. And we'll press that heel to the wall behind us. Let's inhale our right hand up to the sky. Another gentle spinal rotation. Feel those shoulders open as we reach our right hand away. One of our next exhales is going to bring that right hand back to the earth. And this time we'll shimmy that left foot all the way up towards our hands. Bring those hands up onto our left thigh, coming into our low lunge on the opposite side. Once again, we feel a strong foundation through that front left heel, our back right knee. Almost like we have a hammock for our hips. Let those sink forward. And once again, our hands come to clasp at our low spine. Then we can hang out right here if this feels good for us. Or maybe we start to lengthen our arms and pull those hands towards the earth. Opening our chest, our heart, our throat as our gaze comes up to the ceiling. One last big inhale. Feel all that length through your spine. We're ready to exhale, release those hips one last time. Our hands come to the inside of our left foot. We'll slowly start to walk that left knee back beside its right partner. And let's give those hips another gentle sway from side to side. Let's walk those hands back towards our knees, coming onto our shins. Let's reach both hands to come behind us, fingertips reaching away from our hips, pressing those arms long. Big inhales, our chest lifts, our chin lifts, as we take one final generous heart opener. On one of our next exhales, we'll slowly bring those hands back towards our thighs. And together, let's come towards the wall. So if you have a pillow or a blanket, you can place that in front of the wall to help elevate your hips. This can help keep your feet up the wall a little bit easier, make them a bit more weightless, but it's totally not necessary. So to get into our legs up the wall posture, I've been teaching restorative for many years. There really isn't a graceful way, but I always promise once you're up, legs up the wall, you're going to feel fantastic. So bear with me. We're going to bring one of our hips as close to the wall as we can. Maybe we're sitting on a blanket or a cushion or a pillow. We're then going to slowly come down onto our forearms so that we can stay lifted. And then like the arms of a clock, we're going to swing our legs up the wall as our upper body, our spine comes into the earth. So take a moment, if you haven't come into a legs up the wall posture before, hi Oliver, to take a little shimmy, take a little shake. It might feel better for you to have your sit bones closer or further away from the wall. So do take some time to get cozy, to get comfortable. We feel our spine heavy, our legs hopefully feel light and weightless as our feet reach up to the sky. Now before we settle in our legs up, let's start to widen our heels. So we're coming into a straddle, a wide-legged straddle, and we're just using the wall for support so we can open those legs wide using the support of the wall. You can let your legs be heavy. You might feel a generous stretch through your inner thighs, through your groin. And just allow your body to start to invite some stillness. Stillness through your upper body as it lies heavy. stillness through your hips, your pelvis. And using one of our next inhales, if our legs are wide, we're going to slowly let them come back together, closing them like a book, and coming into our resting legs up the wall posture. I know I encouraged earlier to shimmy and shake and move around, but just again, I really want to reiterate, this should be a comfortable, cozy, grounding, relaxing posture. If you feel that you're uncomfortable, please try maybe moving away from the wall, maybe bringing a bend into your knees or the soles of your feet towards the wall. Maybe get a furry friend to come lie next to you while you're doing this. They provide a lot of great comfort, even if they purr very loudly. With our legs up, let's start to let our eyelids get heavy. If we're comfortable to, maybe we let our mouth open. We begin to breathe in and out through our mouth. And we're letting our body just melt away. And while we're here, I invite you to take a gentle body scan by giving those toes a little wiggle, feeling your heels against the wall, your calves, maybe a gentle bend in your knees, your thighs, your heavy hips, your low spine. Feel your abdomen, your chest, your back body. From your shoulders, feel those long arms, our elbows, our forearms, our hands, our wrists. Feel that long neck. Give your jaw a little wiggle, just in case we're holding any tension there. Let that awareness come all the way up to your forehead and then settle on the crown of your head. Together, let's enjoy about 10 to 12 long breaths in stillness here. If you feel your mind begin to wander, maybe thinking about something that happened to you this week or something that hasn't yet come to pass, let's bring our awareness back to our breath and just follow that breath as it flows through your body. Leave those thoughts and those worries for later. Let's enjoy 2 more big breaths here. A big inhale, followed by an equally big exhale. Let's do that one more time. Big inhale, and let that exhale go. Let's allow our knees to splay wide as we invite a bend into our knees and the soles of our feet to come together into a sort of reclined butterfly. As we exit our practice, I encourage you to take as many organic movements as your body might be asking for. We'll take many, many breaths before we move away from the wall and come back to seated. So as we enjoy our reclined butterfly, maybe we take stillness, maybe we use our hands to press those knees away. Maybe our body is asking for something different, maybe a happy baby reaching for the outside of our feet, pulling our knees into our armpits. Maybe our body's asking for that. Maybe coming into a small ball, taking a gentle rock side to side. It's whatever your body's asking for. Let's take about 3 more breaths, taking advantage of the support of the wall. Let's allow our knees to come to bend and we'll roll onto one side, pressing one of our hands into the earth to lift ourselves into a seated posture. Nothing fancy, whatever feels good for you. Maybe our hands can come to our thighs or our knees. And we'll come back to that soft breath. Maybe our eyelids get heavy as we consider an intention that we set at the beginning of our practice. I hope that you feel relaxed, stretched out, ready to take a long night's sleep. Let's let our fingertips come to our sides and we'll close our practice with 2 big breaths together. Let's take a big inhale, reach our fingertips tall, and then exhale, release our fingertips wide. One more time, inhale, reaching tall. Those hands come together, and then as we exhale, we'll bring them to our heart center and take a bow to close our practice. Well, thank you so much for joining myself and Oliver, my trusty and noisy assistant. I hope that you feel fantastic. If you enjoyed this practice, please leave me a comment below, give us a thumbs up, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye.